Arachne and the Loom of Pride. Long ago, when the world still echoed with the footsteps of gods, and every tree, every stream, every stone held a whisper of the divine, there lived a young woman in the humble town of Lydia whose gift would stir the heavens. Her name was Arachne. She was no daughter of kings. Her father dyed wool, staining his hands deep purple and crimson, and her mother spun thread beside the fire. But Arachne wove tapestries that made the gods themselves pause. Her fingers flew faster than birds in flight, and the pictures she conjured from simple thread were more alive than painted marble, more stirring than poetry. Crowds gathered to watch her work, not for minutes, but for hours, silently entranced. Her loom became a window into legend: gods, heroes, lovers, battles, dreams, all woven in silk and wool, color and light. Even the nymphs, daughters of nature, left their rivers and trees to watch. Surely, they whispered, the goddess Athena herself taught her. But when Arachne heard them speak the goddess's name, she did not bow. She did not thank them. She laughed. Athena, she said, I owe her nothing. All I know I learned with my own hands. If the goddess thinks herself greater, let her come and prove it. While people gasped, the nymphs scattered like leaves on the wind. For to challenge a god, even in pride, even in jest, was no small thing. The fates were always listening. And Athena heard. She came not in her full glory, not with the helmet and spear, but disguised as an old woman with weathered eyes. She approached the girl at her loom and spoke gently. Child, she said, you are gifted, but no mortal rivals the gods. Thank Athena for your craft. Speak with humility, and you will find her favor. But Arachne's pride had taken root. I will not lie, she said. If Athena believes herself greater, let her come in her true form. I fear no contest. And in an instant, the air rippled. The disguise dropped away, and Athena stood revealed, terrible in her radiance, crowned in stormlight, robed in fury. So be it, she said. Two looms were set. Two goddesses, one divine, one defiant, began to weave. Athena wove the glories of Olympus, the gods in triumph, mortals in devotion. In shining thread, she depicted her own contest with Poseidon, where she gifted the olive tree and claimed Athens. Around the edges, she stitched warnings: mortal women who defy the gods. Niobe, turned to stone for her pride. Medusa, punished for defiling a temple. Pentheus, torn apart for spying on Dionysus. The tapestry was of awe and of threat. But Arachne wove a different tale. She wove the gods in their flaws. Zeus disguised as a swan, as a bull, as golden rain to seduce mortal women. Apollo chasing the nymph Daphne as she turned to a tree to escape. Poseidon enraged, flooding lands when denied. Her needle spoke not worship, but truth. Every figure a mirror, every thread a question. When both tapestries were complete, the world seemed to hold its breath. Even Athena, her pride coiled like a serpent in her chest, could not deny it. Arachne's work was flawless, too flawless. For the goddess saw in that cloth not just skill, but defiance. She tore it in two, ripped the images thread by thread, and as the pieces fell like feathers to the floor, her voice rang out in wrath. "You have no reverence," she said. "You have mocked the gods. Let this be your reward." And she touched Arachne's forehead. In a blink, the girl's limbs withered. Her arms became spindly, her fingers stretched into legs, her body shrank and darkened, her eyes multiplied. Arachne became the first spider, doomed to spin forever, hidden in corners, weaving webs no one praises. Some say Athena felt a flicker of regret as she watched the girl fall, tiny and trembling, into the shadows. That her curse was not vengeance but transformation, a way to let Arachne's art live on. Because to this day, the spider spins. She works in silence, patient and tireless, building webs of astonishing beauty, laced with light, glistening with dew. If you look closely, you might still see stories in them of gods and mortals, of pride and truth. For Arachne was not punished for her failure, she was punished for her brilliance. She dared to challenge the divine, and worse, she was right. And so the tale of Arachne weaves behind. And so the tale of Arachne weaves beyond its threads. It is more than a warning against pride. It is a tribute to every voice that rises, uninvited, and insists on being heard. To every woman who dares to excel, who creates with unflinching honesty, who names what others would rather leave hidden. Arachne was not punished for lack of reverence. She was punished for truth, and for skill so sharp it could no longer be ignored. Her web is not just a symbol of punishment, it is resistance made visible, a quiet, enduring act of creation. And perhaps that is why spiders still spin in the shadows, because some stories, once told, cannot be untold, because some truths, no matter how small, will always find a way to shine. Enjoyed the story? Then tap like, hit subscribe, and join us again for more wonders from the world's oldest tales.